promise. I wanted to create a short video real quick and talk about what's been going on with HIMS and HERS. Also, as a bonus, as requested per one of our StockWits investors, we're going to go ahead and cover one of the INDI stocks. If INDI, if you've never heard of this stock, I highly suggest you do a lot of research on it. It's actually a really, really good stock. We're going to go ahead and cover the basics of it. And on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and put a video on Jim Cramer and see what Jim Cramer had to say about this stock. Now, take that with a grain of salt, right? You do your actually own research. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just more educational purposes as far as how to read the charts. My technical view on the actual charts versus the fundamental aspect, right? So let's not keep holding back, guys. Let's go straight to the charts. All right, so HIMS and HERS, right? So those of you who have been following me for quite some time know that I actually trade based off the weekly time frame, right? Guys, whatever happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Friday, however, I am on these charts and I'm actually looking at what's going on. Friday, we could be done all week, Monday through Thursday, and then come Friday and we're up, right? So looking at the weekly time frame or the any other time frames that's higher monthly time frame, it eliminates a lot of that noise, right? Meaning a lot of those candles, a lot of confusion. So I like to use the higher time frames to see the big picture of what the stock is actually doing. And with HIMS and HERS, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to change this chart. Remember, you guys, I talked about the $5.55 price, right? So, guys, we closed at $5.60 today. That is actually really, really good. I actually had this orange, and I actually changed it to green, meaning like, hey, we just created a new high. And I'm going to go ahead and change this into a line chart so you guys can actually get a little bit more of a better view what I'm trying to get at, right? When we change our charts to the line chart, we're talking about true price. Where actually true price is. When you look at it on the candlesticks, you're going to see a lot of wicks. So therefore, the market reached at that point, and then at that point kind of pulled back on you. Whether it was up or down, regardless, the market did reach that point, and it kind of pulled back on us, all right? So right now, guys, obviously, when you look at this, we're at $5.60. That's how the market closed right now, right? This high, I'm talking about the high. If I change this back to candles, we were talking about the $5.55. That's where the $5.55 came from. Okay, so we closed higher than that. Now, with that being said, because of the fact that we closed higher, not to say that we are already in an uptrend, but right, based off our higher highs, higher lows, higher high, or in this case, we're going down, so it'll be lower highs or lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low, and now we actually have a new high. Okay, could this be that we are finally starting to move to the upside? Maybe, right? Don't get me wrong, we still have a move down, right? Remember, the market moves in waves. I'm predicting this market is going to go ahead and pull back. That's what I've been really waiting for, honestly, to kind of buy a little bit more of those shares and actually kind of average down a little bit. But regardless, if you're in this stock, this is a really, really good time to actually start paying attention of what HIMS and HERS is actually doing, because we could be potentially start moving towards new highs, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and clear the chart real quick and talk a little bit about. So I got some questions about, hey, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, how the entire market has been doing. And I've constantly said, guys, I don't normally pay attention to any other stocks. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick, right? Yes, the Dow Jones, the S&P kind of gives us a little bit of the sentiment of how the markets have been moving. Now, if you look at this February 21st, right, this year, I've actually made a prediction. Dow Jones was actually going to go all the way down to like the 29,000s and whatnot. And if you pass forward to that, guys, that is exactly where we were at. And then all of a sudden, the market is starting to move just slightly higher. Honestly think that we may have one more drop coming, but that is a actually really good sign because even though this is why I don't compare any other stock with another, right? Regardless of how much confluence they have or whether they move very similar. Um, Dow Jones has been going down for quite some time, right? I knew Dow Jones was going to drop, and it's been dropping. And lately, you've been seeing HIMS kind of steadily like starting to make its move up. So HIMS is not doing very bad at all, considering the fact that hey, earnings report is right around the corner. Even though their earnings reports, they've been blowing everything out of the water. They've been doing very great. Very close on their margin in regards to actually making profits. When you have a market that is continually, constantly going down and it's just been beaten down, right? And HIM is actually holding pretty strong. That is actually a really good sign, and that's why I actually have my price target at $15. I see a lot of $8. Yes, $8 for sure. Kind of like in the short term. When I say short term, somewhere within maybe 6 months, 7 months. More long term, however, I see HIMS actually going towards like the $15 area and potentially even higher, right? Once we start seeing a shift in the market. Now, um, one thing that I actually wanted to get at was, like I said, we had one investor actually request as a bonus for us to look into a indie stock, right? Those of you who don't know about indie, hey, I highly suggest you look into it, guys. This is a really, really good stock. Uh, they deal with the auto industry, that telehealth. They have a lot of things going on. They just came public in 2019. Remember, we were dealing with COVID at that time. Okay, so they kind of peaked up, and I'll actually show you the charts in just a second. But most important, I also wanted to show you. Actually, let me go ahead and transition there now. I wanted to actually show you a short clip about what Jim Cramer actually had to say about the type of companies that they look for, but most important also on what he had to say about Indy. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a quick look at it.
When they have money, we don't recommend stocks that don't. The criteria is you have to make things, do stuff, be profitable, return money to shareholders, and be reasonably valued. So that's why it's so hard for me to get behind Indy, because you are supposed to lose money even in 2023. Is there any way that you can make money next year?
Well, we'll cross over that barrier in 2023. We won't be profitable for the whole year, but we will be profitable at the end of the year. We're very committed to that. It's the number one focus for me as the CEO of the company.
All right, guys. So real quick, right? I'll put a link on down below once I post this video on YouTube in regards to where can you actually view the entire video. But again, I wanted to just make a short video on this. So Indy, my prediction on Indy, right? So as we can see, since Indy came out, right, we're looking at average $9 range. Then the market came up, very good, very, very similar to what HIMS did, right? They created new highs, 14, almost $15 high for Indy. Market comes down. Guess what? Somewhat of the COVID, right? This is COVID drop right here, and then the market, Indy actually comes up to the 1633, right? That was their high, and now the market, of course, everybody's hurting, right? And this is where they're at right now, $6.05. Now, they have to do with autonomous cars, vehicles that drive themselves and all this stuff. So that's actually very popular nowadays, right? Tesla, with the new future, the green energy, and all this other stuff. They could play a major role in what's going to transition within the next couple of years, 10, 20 years. So this is a good company to actually look into. Now, when it comes to predictions, guys, I always remember this is technical aspect, not fundamentals. I always like to go to the higher time frames, right? Higher time frames. I like the least noise possible, right? And when I look at this, right, green candle here with means within almost the $8 range, we'll see some, once this market gets up here, we might get a little bit of a sideways movement. But then once it reaches here and we start making new highs, I honestly see this going to this area right here. Okay. This area right here, which is the $12 area. And I'm going to tell you why. So when you go down to the monthly time frame, you see this green candle right here, the last candle before the market just started dropping. And I'm talking about bleeding, right? Um, that's what I look for, right? I'm looking. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And so why the market now? If I take this, if I remove this, right? And you see the beginning or the bottom of this rectangle is $12.31. Well, guys, if we go down to the weekly time frame and you see that first green candle before the market dropped, right? We're looking at, and I'll go ahead and I'll add that once again, the rectangle, and I extend that out. All right, so we're looking at 1166 and 1226 price range. That is an actually really, really good target for INDI, and that's what I'm expecting. That is my prediction on INDI. I think this is a really good company. It's going to take some time for it to actually grow, just like any other stock that went public 2019, 20, 21, 22, right? It's going to take some time to grow. They are actually growing, and they're doing a pretty good job. I haven't looked at their earnings report, so again, remember this is solely technical analysis. But guys, that's my prediction on INDI. I hope this helps. Guys, again, we're doing great. Keep on holding a little bit longer, and don't forget it's Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. All right, have a good one.